My name is McKenna and this channel is maakbooks or maakbooks, however you want to pronounce it. I'm sick of this. This is my 4th time filming this. I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as I can, but today I'm going to be doing both the BookTube Newbie Tag and the New to BookTube Tag. Both of the tags have the same general premise, so there are a couple questions that repeat in both of them, so I am going to be starting with the BookTube Newbie Tag, going to the New to BookTube Tag after that, and then closing it up with the questions that were in both tags. Question number 1. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? I own, ride, and show horses, which is something that I haven't seen really a lot on BookTube. I also haven't read any of the Harry Potter books, and that's hard to come by on BookTube. What are you most excited about for this channel? I've been having so many ideas lately that I'm just so excited to try out and film and get up and get feedback on. I'm just so excited to go through with all these ideas that I've been having, even before I started really thinking about doing a BookTube. So I guess that's what I'm most looking forward to, is executing the ideas I've been having. Question number 3. Why do you love reading? I love reading because it gives me the chance to have opportunities that I never would have without reading. What other chances am I going to have to hang with shadow hunters or vampires, or be in 1920s New York in like a paranormal setting, or the Civil War era with zombies? So that's what I really love about reading, is just all the opportunities it gives me and all the different perspectives that it sheds light onto, just everything about reading that gives me new information I love. Question number 4. What questions do you have for your favorite booktubers? How do you do it, I guess? I don't really have any other questions than that, but I don't mean how do you do it tutorial wise, how do you do the small things, continue looking at the camera instead of the viewfinder, or in my case, my iPhone screen. How do you do just the small things that most people overlook, that it's just kind of how do you do that so consistently? How do you do it so well? I need to know. Seriously, I need to. Question 5. When did you start reading? I have always kind of been a reader, but about 6th grade I really started reading for pleasure, and it just kind of became something that I loved more than just something that I did. We read The Hunger Games in 6th grade and a bunch of other great books that I attribute to my now love for reading so deep that it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life, which is such a huge thing to think about, that in 6th grade one little book shaped me into, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. 6th grade really is when I started reading, but I've always kind of been a reader throughout my life, because that was the question. And now on to the New to BookTube Tag. Where will you be joining us from? I'm from Ohio. The first time I filmed this, I had a long rant about how much Ohio sucks. So if I manage to figure out how to do it, I'll insert it here, because I thought it was pretty funny, however cringy it was. But if I don't figure out how to do that, it won't be here, and I'll probably edit this part out. Where will you be joining us from? Want me to spell it out for you? O-H-I-O. Ohio. That crappy state. The corn state. The cornfield state. Literally, my school is between 2 cornfields. Nothing. There's almost nothing around my school. I live pretty much in the middle of nowhere. How old are you? I'm 17. I just turned 17 a little while ago, but I'm 17 now, so. That was cringy. Question 3. What is the meaning behind your channel name? So my channel name is maakbooks. My dad calls me Mac. That's my nickname from my dad. But last year when I was changing my nickname, it was Literature Wanderlust. It's not anymore, obviously. But I was changing it when I was reading the Throne of Glass series. Like, I reread the first 2 books and then continued throughout the series. So I was like obsessed with it at that point. So I'm like, you know what? She has a cool last name. I could just substitute that S for a K and be my own like thing. And no one would be the wiser. So that's what I did. And now everyone who watches this knows that I ripped off Sarah J. Maas, but I don't know what to say. So I'm sorry. Question 4. Who are some of your favorite authors? I really like Libba Bray, Becky Albertalli, Adam Silvera, Leigh Bardugo, Cassandra Clare, Holly Black, and those are just to name a few. Like, I am sure I have tons more that I haven't discovered yet or I haven't thought of yet, but like, those are just a few that are on my favorite shelves. But I'm sure I have tons more that I didn't think about right before doing this, so. I'm clumsy. Question number 5. What is the last book you read? I actually don't own the last book I read, but I own the first book in that series. So the last book I read is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It was the conclusion to the Raven Cycle series. It was pretty good. I wasn't a huge fan of the characters throughout the book, so it wasn't my like favorite series of all time, but I did really enjoy it, and I'm glad I finally got around to it instead of it just being on my Goodreads TBR forever. So I'm glad I read it, but I don't think it was exactly my cup of tea or what I was looking for in this series. Question 6. What book are you currently reading? I'm actually currently reading 2 books. I'm reading one physically and one over audiobook. Physically, I am reading Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. I'm really enjoying it. I just hit the 200-page mark, like the second half of the book, I think, or like the second portion of the book, and I am so excited. Like, shit is hitting the fan. I can't wait to read on. Other book I'm currently reading, the one I'm reading over audiobook, is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. I'm about 100 pages into this one. Also still really enjoying it. Like, one of the major plot lines I think just happened. I am kind of warming up to the other character that I wasn't a fan of at like first. So this one is going pretty well too. I'm super excited to finish both of them. I can't wait. I'm excited. How many times can I say those things talking about these books? Question number 7. What do you use as bookmarks? I use anything I can find as bookmarks. If I don't have a bookmark and there's a piece of random paper laying around, I'll use that. I have used like a folded up piece of paper before. It was a very important piece of paper that I probably should not have been using as a bookmark, but I did anyway. And I also just have like bookmarks from Books A Million and other places that I've just gotten them, and I use those most of the time, but if I'm in desperate, dire need of a bookmark, like a sticky note or a folded piece of paper will definitely do. Question 8. Show us your current TBR pile. I have a lot of books on my TBR. They're mixed in with the books that I already have read on my shelf over there, but I do have 2 sitting right here. And those are Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson and From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon. Question number 9. Hardcover or paperback? I like both. Hardcover for the aesthetic, paperback for the eases of reading. Question 10. Ebooks or physical books? I much prefer physical books because I get easily distracted on ebooks, but I am trying to get more into ebooks because they're cheaper and kind of easier to access. Question 11. Borrowing or owning books? Again, both of them. I love my local library, I love my school library, but I do like owning the books myself for Bookstagram. Question number 12. How did you discover BookTube? Around the time that the Divergent movie was coming out, I like just read the books. I did my little Googling of Divergent because I was super into it at the time, blah, 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 whatever. And I found BookTube, and I've never looked back. And question number 13 of the new to BookTube tag, where else can we find you? Instagram at maakbooks, same as my YouTube handle. You can also find me on Twitter at Travel by Books, and I also have a WordPress blog at www.kennahsbookblog.wordpress.com. And now we're getting into the final segment of questions, which are the combination questions that were in both the New to BookTube tag and the BookTube Newbie tag. Question 1. What kind of books do you read / do you want to talk about on this channel? I mostly read YA, typically like fantasy and contemporary. I've been getting a little more into paranormal and like historical fiction, and I really do want to branch out from the like more popular things, because that's mostly what I've been reading, so I kind of want to do a little bit of like off-the-wall sci-fi and a little bit more of like off-the-wall fantasy and those kinds of things. I just have to like discover what I really truly like, just to kind of see, to branch out a little more so it's not just the same things over and over again, because I am getting just a little sick of it. Question 2. What book or series got you into reading? As I said, I've like always kind of been a reader, but then The Hunger Games like really truly got me into reading. So The Hunger Games is definitely one of the most influential books that I've ever like set eyes on and read. However, I do have a series that I read a lot of in first grade that kind of shaped me to, that kind of shaped me so that I think that if I hadn't read this series in first grade, then I wouldn't have been apt to keep going in 6th grade. And that is the Magic Tree House series by Mary Pope Osborne. Like I said, I read these books in first grade. I read them in class, and I read them with my mom, and my mom would read Jack's dialogue and I would read Annie's dialogue and the narration, and it was such a great experience. Unfortunately, when I got to 2nd grade, my 2nd grade teacher didn't as much encourage reading, so I didn't really keep pursuing the Magic Tree House series, but that made my resurgence of reading all the much sweeter, I think. Question number 3. What challenges do you think you will face in starting a BookTube channel? Any kind of consistency, I think, is one of the challenges. I think I'm getting more and more comfortable in front of the camera every time I film this book tag, so I think that has started to go out the window, but I do think that getting a little more comfortable with the camera will be needed further along. I am not as fast of a reader. I don't read as many books in a month as a lot of like bigger name booktubers, and I think that's going to be a challenge, but I also think that like it's going to get me to read more, to be able to like do a wrap up and to be able to like do this and this and this on BookTube, and I'm excited about that. And the final question of this video, why did you start your BookTube channel? I started this BookTube channel because I've been in the book community, in Bookstagram and book blogging, but I've kind of been admiring BookTube from afar, and I kind of wanted to jump into it. And I thought now would be the right time because I'm closing out high school. This is my senior year, and I'm currently taking a video editing class, and I thought that would kind of play hand in hand. And like I said before, I have a lot of ideas that I can't really do on my blog. They kind of have to be video ideas. So I decided to start the BookTube channel so that I could start doing those creative videos that I had the idea to do, that I really wanted to do but couldn't do over my blog. But that was the BookTube Newbie and New to BookTube tag. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you liked this video, and hopefully I'll continue along with it and see you soon. Bye!